twilight lies gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran fast. The bombs busting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the free, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in name, the name of the brave. We are the U.S. of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the U.S. of A. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the free, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching Maxspeed TV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Maxspeed TV, the OP Racing Premier Series presented by Buttkicker tonight here. Well, we're back again 3 nights in a row that we have raced here at Talladega. So welcome everybody to the stream. Glad everybody could tune in. It's going to be an exciting night tonight. Guys, we are halfway through the season of the regular season, and it is going to be a nail biter. But we're going to go ahead and look at our current standings. We'll get this stuff off of the screen here so you guys can see. We'll refresh it, and so right now, if you're looking at the standings, we have 5 different winners out of 5 races. That is Brian Wayne, Gabe Butler, Hunter Reynolds, Jeff Crosby Jr., and Stephen Littrell. With those wins, they are in the 16 round of 16 on the first round of the playoffs. But then you got Zach Workman, Adam Kilday, Kenny Real, Andy Brigante, Mark Mann, And then you have Lynn McNeese, Steve Korsak, Nate Warren, Dustin Logston, Jimmy Reynolds, and Richard Kuhn all above the cut line. And just below the cut line there, you have Zach French, Dave Hunt, John Guerrero, and Adam Schramm. Well, looking back at what happened last week, folks, but your first-time winner here at OP, Stephen Littrell, in that 36 machine. It was an awesome run by Stephen. He had a great race last week. Adam Kilday in second, Steve Korsak in third, Josh Ball in fourth, and Zach Workman in fifth. And then our stage winners for last week was Hunter Reynolds in stage one and Josh Ball, the winner of stage two. Well, then we get to the most points of the last three races. Hunter Reynolds with 134 points, Brian Wang with 101, Zach Workman at 97, Gabe Butler with 96, and Steve Korsak at 90. Well, again, we are back here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our pre-race analytics. Wind speed at 3 mile an hour, track temperature at 72, or air temperature at 72. It's cloudy out here today at Talladega and 87-degree track temperature. So pretty decent racing going to be for tonight, folks. But so glad everybody is here. Again, right now we have, looks like 25 drivers that has entered the session. Only 16 of them have been out practicing. We got about 6 minutes left of practice going into the race or the qualifying. And I believe looking at our stages, I think we're going to be at 25 and 50 again. So if the caution comes out after lap 21 or after lap 46, well, whoever comes down, when they come down pit road, the first one down pit road there, is going to be your stage winner. But we will try to remember that lap 25, or at the end of 25, beginning of lap 26 will be the stage one. And then lap 50 to 51 will be stage two. Storm Chasers, David Casper out there. How are you doing, sir? Glad you made it in. Of course, it is still early, guys. We still got about 5 minutes left. We're going to try to, well, I think our main race admin is, I don't see, I'm looking for him here. I'm not seeing him, but we're going to go ahead. We'll go ahead and bring up our last week's winner, Stephen Littrell. Stephen, we've got a copy there, buddy.
Yeah, I do. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. Of course, you know, we just went over what happened last week here at OP Monday night, and man, you squeaked out the victory there. Had a little bit of help, if I remember right, from Adam Kilday pushing you to that win. But your first OP win, man, how did it feel?
It feels really good. I'm not gonna lie. I've been wanting that for a long time, but not as long as some other people have been trying to get it. But so I feel blessed there, but I want more.
Well, I think we all kind of, you know, as a driver, even myself, you know, I want to be out front and I want to get that win. But you know, with you getting that first one though, does that seem to take a little bit of pressure off of you, or are you still feeling it with the caliber of drivers that we have here?
It's kind of both ways. It definitely takes a lot of pressure off. It feels good because now I know I can. So then it adds pressure. Now I have to prove it again.
Well, I was just going to let you know your mic seems to be cutting out a little bit on me, but we got what you said. Now, so for tonight here, we were looking at the weather and everything. The track temperatures are a little bit cooler than what you guys normally run. I think they kind of did that to kind of help y'all out. How is the track feeling? I know you've been out there running some practice laps. How's the track feeling out there to you?
Well, I haven't gotten any more than just 2 trucks in a draft. So I haven't gotten it up to complete full speed, but getting onto pit road feels really nice. It's cool enough and grippy enough to actually be able to slow down to get onto pit road.
And the only thing you got to worry about is coming off a pit road. But if it's usually pretty grippy coming in, it's usually pretty good going out. Well, Stephen, thank you for taking the time to visit with us and our fans out there. But I know you're going to have some people out there, rooting you on. Usually, I think it's your mom and dad, William and Lorna, been out there.
Yep, that's mom and dad.
Out there rooting you on. I'm sure they'll be watching here pretty soon. So, but awesome job, Stephen. Congratulations. And let's see, you are no Presta, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
All right, I'll get you back down there, and good luck, buddy.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, we just heard from last week's winner. Let's see. I don't think Jimmy is going to make it tonight. So we'll bring one of our admins up here to the booth real quick. Zach Workman, I don't think Jimmy's going to make it tonight, but as an admin here on OP, what are you expecting out of these guys tonight?
We'll get our, good racing, 3 wide. There'll be some wrecks. But yeah, it's going to be kind of usual OP fashion. I mean, as we were talking before, these guys probably got millions of laps around this circuit, so they know the track pretty well. But yeah, we'll have some good moments, maybe some blunders, but we'll all be wrapped into one race today.
Well, as any race is concerned, you're going to have little mistakes that's going to cause stuff. That's just racing. But I think we're going to be in for a great night. The weather's looking good. The track's looking good. Temperature's not too high. It's not too low. So you guys are probably going to get some good grip. But these trucks always get good grip at, New Daytona and at Talladega.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got enough lanes to run. We can run 3 and 4 wide here, so it's gonna be a lot of hard racing. These guys, from the drop of the green flag, go hard. So it's gonna be exciting.
All right. Well, Zach, thanks for taking the time to visit with us and the fans, buddy. We're gonna get you back down to your room. You guys got about 10 seconds left before qualifying starts, and we ain't gonna keep you any longer, sir.
It won't matter, Steve. I will probably qualify mid-pack, so it won't matter anyway. But
hey, that's where I qualify. You can't have my spot anymore.
As long as I ain't last.
All right, buddy. We'll see you later.
All right, take care.
All right, we'll get him back down there, and we're going to go ahead while they are qualifying. We're going to get that off, and then we're going to get our qualifying time up here. We're going to go ahead and show you the teams that we have for Monday night. Because, again, Monday night is a team racing event. Got a few people out there in chat. Cody Nagel's tuning in. Hey, Cody, how you doing, buddy? Long time no see. Netsby and Moose Pie out there saying hello or rooting on their favorite drivers. So appreciate you guys showing up. Dirty Sports is going to consist of the 03 of Steve Rada, the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr., the 42 of Peter DeBorgia, the 47 of Richard Kuhn, and the 81 of Dustin Logston. Now we get into Team Checker Flag Motorsports. That is the 6 of Bubba Whittingham, the 46 of David Overstreet, the 53 of Dave Hunt, the 62 of Les Levy, and the 84 of Lynn McNeese. We get into Team Bootnacker. That is the cars of the 8 of Dude Conrad, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, the 071 of Eric Laurie, and the 88 of Gabe Butler. Going to Team Wicked, That is going to be the 13 of Andy Brigante, the 48 of Andrew Schroeder, the 59 of John Guerrera, the 83 of Doug Johnson, and the 99 of Alex Gibbon. We get into our Team FSR Fuel Sim Racing. That is the 12 of Zach Fritz, the 16 of Nate Warren, the 19 of Zach Workman, the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr., and the 71 of Sean McCara. Going into Team Vendetta, we got the 3 of Alex Green, the 04 of Mark Mann, the 5 of Rick Sanchez, 85 of Adam Kilday. Then we got 3 part-timers on this team. That is the 4 of Rick Seabrands, the 44 of Anthony English, the 95 of James Mayer. And then we get to Team NPE No Presta. That is Josh Ball, the 11 of Kenny Real, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, the 36 of Stephen Littrell, and the 87 of Adam Schramm. And then we have part-timers of the 40 of Stephen Miles and the 54 of Brandon Pfeiffer. We get to our Team Dell Cup. That is the 05 of Brian Wang, the 027 of Steve Kurisek, the 25 of Kevin Freese as a part-time, and the 32 of Sebastian Marin as a part-time driver. Well, the only driver that we haven't talked about is that 024. That is going to be Everett Lane. I think he kind of transitioned because it was just him in Fast Lane Racing. Well, he is in a Team Bootknocker now, so glad to see him get on a team. Well, looking out at the track right now, Dustin Loxton is your top spot, and Kenny Real second, Josh Ball third, Les Levy in fourth right now, Andy Brigante fifth, Adam Schramm sixth, Bubba Winningham seventh, Rick Sanchez coming in eighth, Stephen Littrell in ninth, Peter DeBorgia in 10th, Dave Hunt 11th, David Overstreet in 12th, Nate Warren 14th, Zach Workman mid-pack as he said in 15th, Richard Kuhn in 17th. Oh, Zach just got dropped to 16th. Everett Lane, now Adam Kilday taking over that top spot. Everett Lane had it for just a split second. Let's see here. I want to do this. As we have about a minute left of qualifying, as we are looking at our lap times here, all the way down to 25th, but Adam Kilday sitting in your top spot, but Anthony English out on the track right now, getting his qualifying lap in, as well as Peter DeBorgia, Andy Brigante coming in at 10th, Vicente Guerrero with a 9th place qualifying. It looks like Andy Brigante is still in 10th. Anthony English putting in a 17th spot. With 17 seconds left, there is nobody else qualifying. We'll see what happens here when Peter goes past the start-finish line. And that's going to do it. Well, that's going to make Adam Kilday your pole sitter. And Adam is part of Team Vendetta, so we're going to go ahead and bring Adam up to the broadcast booth. Well, Adam, 2 nights in a row, buddy, that you've got the pole. Man, you know, we've ran Talladega 3 nights straight, Saturday night, Sunday night, and now tonight. Of course, last night and tonight are both in the trucks. How you feeling out there tonight?
Shoot. Oh, I joined practice late, so, I don't know, cooler track tonight than it was in last night's league. So you know, maybe the trucks will be a little steadier tonight, especially with the temperatures. And hopefully the cars won't get as hot for this race. So Yeah, but it's OP Monday, so yeah, this should be a good one, I would assume.
Well, of course, OP is what I call the creme de la creme of OP drivers. It is an invite-only league. You guys always put on a great show. Well, Adam, good luck, buddy. Congratulations on that pole spot tonight, and hopefully we'll see you again at the end of the race.
Yeah, hopefully so, man. So, enjoy, have a good one, and yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right, we'll do.
All right, got him back down into his team, but we're going to go ahead and get to our Maxspeedtv OP Premier Series starting grid. Row 1, inside is Adam Kilday. Row number 2 on the outside, or row number 1 on the outside, I should say, is that number 24 of Everett Lanes. Row number 2 on the inside, Dustin Loxton. To his outside, Kenny Reel. Row number 3 on the inside will be Gabe Butler. To his outside, the number 27 of Sean Stevens. Starting row number 4 is Josh Ball in that number 1 truck, and his outside will be the 62 of Mr. Les Levy. Row number 5 on the inside, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, and his outside is the 13 of Eddie Brigante. Start row number 6, Zach Fritch on the inside. His outside with the 87 of Adam Schramm. Row number 7 on the inside is the 71 of Sean McCara. His outside is the 6 of Bubba Winningham. Row number 8, the 5 of Rick Sanchez. I know Moose Pie's out there rooting Rick on, but Rick on the inside, Stephen Littrell to his outside. Row number 9 is Anthony English, and his outside is Peter DeBorgia. Row number 10, David Overstreet. To his outside is Dave Hunt. Row number 11, Nate Warren on the inside, Zach Workman on the outside there in 22nd. Starting row number 12, Richard Kuhn on the inside. To his outside is Jeff Crosby Sr. Row number 13, Andrew Schroeder on the inside. Brian Wayne, we're starting on that outside line. Row number 14, Steve Kursek on the inside. To his outside, the 04, Mark Mann. Row number 15, Alex Giffen. And to his outside is the 84 of Lynn McNeese. And it's not going to let me see the last row, but row 16 will be Doug Johnson on the inside. And his outside, it will be Dave Hunt. Looks like Dave Hunt's probably going to start from the pits. Doug having those blinking problems again. But, well, guys, we are fixing to get going here. We'll get that off. But we'll get our vertical or our horizontal ticker back going here. As we are in a turn 3 and 4. We're going to come out of turn number 4 and get to the United Reynolds restart zone here at Talladega. Race number 6. Luke Gray out there tonight, rooting on Gabe Butler. Everett Baker coming in, Brendan Kennedy. Of course, Storm Chaser David Casper out there saying hi again. Glad to have everybody tuning in, folks. We are going to get started here as we enter that start zone. Green flag out, folks. Here we go. Halfway through the regular season here at Talladega on the loud pedal. Everett Lane already getting a run to the outside. But here comes Adam Kilday, the 81 of Dustin Logston. Starting to see a little bit of wiggling going on. These guys need to, of course, this is, you know, any little blip or blink can make a big difference in a simulator race like this. Guys, we are rolling though. Looking back to the field, Gabe Butler back here in 5th, Sean Stevens in 6th. Kind of looking back through this side-by-side race, and Peter DeBorgia right there on the outside of Anthony English. You got Peter DeBorgia, looks like the 19 of Zach Workman. That is the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. I don't see Jeff Crosby Jr. out here tonight, so Peter DeBorgia already looking out to that 3rd lane. Zach Workman is going to go with him. Now we've got 2 other trucks jumping out there. That is the 62 Up Les Levy in the 13 of Andy Brigante moving out to that third lane. Everett Lane right now down on that low line with Adam Kilday, Dustin Logston. And I believe that is Sean Stevens. Nope, Sean's in the second lane. That is the 88 of Gabe Butler. Now Josh Ball moving to the outside in front of Les Levy. That's Kenny Real, Sean Stevens, Vicente Guerrero right there on that inside line with Bubba Winningham as well. We got our cool little drone cam out here tonight. 190-mile-an-hour drone cam, folks. Gives us a bird's eye view. Now we are working with some new camera angles. We've got a roof cam now, as we are on top of the 81 Dustin Logston. And look at the run. Everett Lane coming up beside Adam Kilday with the 27 of Sean Stevens right behind him. They are losing momentum about halfway through that turn. And we also have our deck lid cam. This is coming from the trunk or the bed of that of the trucks looking back. As we come through turns 3 and 4, Adam Kilday jumping up to that outside line in front of Kenny Real. I think he was doing that to maybe help get a little bit of air into Dustin. Now, the last night, the track temperature was a little bit hotter. But tonight, with the track temperature being what it is, we are at 101 degrees. We were at like 89. So, track temperature has jumped up. The wind down to 0. I still have an air temperature of 73 degrees, so get this pulled up here. The humidity, though, at 76%. So that's going to make it feel a little bit warmer than what it is. Give you an idea of what these guys are dealing with here. We are still 3 wide. Josh Ball, Vicente Guerrero. That is the 36 of Steven Littrell. Up 8 spots. Up into that 8th place spot now. Our biggest mover, though, Brian Wayne, up 11 spots. I think we are running 43% fuel. They've been out here 5 laps, so we're probably looking about the 11 or 12 lap pit window. Now Kenny Real out to the front. Adam Kilday in the second, Dustin Logston third, Everett Lane fourth, Sean Stevens rounding out your top 10. Give a big shout out to our partners here on MSTV, the Dirty Tudes guys, getting me hooked up with the overlays and stuff for OP. Man, I'm digging these SDK overlays. The SDK has been, well, it's a little complicated to build, and time consuming to build the overlays. There's a lot of coding involved, which I am not that smart, but the guys at Nerditudes really done a great job. Got me hooked up, and of course Dustin Logston and Peter DeBorgia taking some time, I think it was on a Friday, and got me some training on it, how to do it and everything like that. So still learning, but you know, I am getting better with it every week. So But right now, Kenny Real is your leader, but here comes Peter DeBorgia coming from that high side down in the second lane. Peter DeBorgia is up 15 spots. Josh Ball, Vicente Guerrero on the outside. We can kind of see back here, I think we're around the 16 of Nate Warren. Let me get on. Yeah, so back here about where Nate Warren is, all the way back to the field, on a single file. Now David Overstreet is out on that high side, just to the outside of the 62 Leslie, which is his teammate. Andrew Schroeder, Anthony English, Alex Giffen, Mark Mann, Glenn McNeese, Doug Johnson, Andy Brigante. Kind of single file back through here. Dave Hunt, he started in the pits. He may have had some issues. Back up to the front though, Peter DeBorgia did make the move, is out front. As Everett Lane drops down to the inside. Guys, we are getting ready probably for some green flag pit stops here. Get we're lapping 10 of 94. We're going to keep an eye on that. I believe lap 20, 25 we'll get the white flag for the stage, and lap 26 will be the end of stage 1. Right now, 9-0, we're wrecking behind them. 71 is Sean McCara involved. Looks like the 80 or the 99 of Alex Giffen, a P7 to 84, may have got it shut down. But we're going to take a look at this, folks, and see what happened. We're going to go ahead and rewind this. As it started up here towards the front, we're going to say right around where Josh Ball is. Oh, right there behind him, Vicente Guerrero. Zach Fritsch in that middle lane. Drops it back down. Sean McCara in the middle. Kind of comes up and just barely taps Vicente on that left rear bumper. It gets him hooked. And I mean, these guys come to a dead stop. Again, several trucks involved. Looks like Dustin Loxton. Oh, who was that? We had several trucks out there. That was Richard Kuhn. And another truck. Let's see who that was. That was the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. Getting tangled up, but we will get back live here. Guys coming down pit road. Some of them going to get some damage fixed. Some of them just going to get fuel, tires. Anthony English is going to be the first to come off of pit road. Peter DeBorgia right there with him. Kenny Real in third. Adam Kilday in fourth. Dustin Locks in fifth. Gabe Butler sixth. Everett Lane in seventh. Josh Ball in eighth. And Adam Strom ninth. Nate Warren rounding out your top 10. Looks like Jeff Crosby Sr. coming off of pit road. Sean Stevens coming off of pit road, as well as Sean McCara. Andrew Schroeder as well. Looks like Vicente Guerrero still down on pit road. Alex Giffen coming off of pit road. Zach Fritsch, Bubba Winningham, David Overstreet, Zach Workman, and Lynn McNeese still on pit road. Oh, here comes Vicente. Looks like he's still going to have a little bit of damage. You see on the back of his truck, he's missing the tailgate. So right now, Zach Fritch, David Overstreet, and Lynn McNeese, the three down on pit road, as Lynn is now coming off of pit road. Looks like pit road now is closed, so Anthony English coming back down pit road, as well as Steve Korosek and the rest of the group. I see the red lights flashing back there in the background, so I'm not sure if that means that the pit road is closed. The lights on the pace car are out, or the pace truck I should say are out. We'll get ready to go back green flag racing here in just a minute. Yeah, do appreciate everybody tuning in. Well, we knew it was going to be a little bit of a wild night tonight, folks, but hopefully we will see some green flag pit stops. They were out here for 11 laps. Looked like they were getting ready to start doing some green flag pit stops, but we've got, looks like about 13 laps left in this stage. Everett Baker, I think you were the one asking me, it may have been Everett Grover, asking me about the laps under caution, and I finally figured out which button that was, so now you guys can see what lap we're on under caution. But we are getting to the restart zone, United Rentals restart zone. Of course, the Maxspeedtv green flag sponsor, Chevyland.com. Back out in the air. Here we go. Back on the loud pedal, folks. We will hit lap 14 as we cross the line here. Peter DeBorgia getting a good jump. Adam Kilday right behind him. Kenny Real, Dustin Loxton to the outside. Josh Ball looking to make a run on that inside to get caught up with Adam Kilday, as he does close that gap. Gabe Butler, though, on the outside. Trying to see who that was behind him. That is the 24 of Everett Lane. 16 of Warren, 87 of Schramm. And on the outside, that is the 62 of Levy and the 47 Richard Coon. Adam makes the move back out to the outside, door to door with the 1 and the 11. One is Josh Ball right on the bumper of that 42. Guys are getting a little bit squirrely in the bump trap. Ooh. 47 making a move to the outside. Just doesn't have enough, doesn't have any help. He falls back into behind the 5 of Sanchez. Now Sanchez looking to the outside. The 47 is going to go with him here. Try to get around that 87 machine. 87 drops him down behind the 84. Look back here. That is the 05 of Brian Wayne. The 27 of Steve Corsack. Hey, Belva out there. Well, we're going to go ahead and let's go on board. And we'll go on board with Kenny Real. You guys can kind of see what he is seeing. We are on the passenger side of the truck. See, it's right on the bumper of Kildare. Another camera angle I've been kind of playing around with. Of course, we have the helmet cam, the driver's direct view of what the driver sees. Big wiggle. Now Adam Kildare going around. That's going to collect several other cars or trucks again. We're going to take a look here. We're going to stay on Adam Kildare here, and let's go back. Let's get on our chase view. Adam getting a good push there by Kenny Real. But Adam comes down. Wasn't quite clear as he comes across the nose of the 42 and gets turned around. Well, then right back into the 42. Collects the 1, the 24, the 88, the 5. The 05, the 027 getting a piece of it as well. And then, of course, down on the apron, I believe that was Les Levy, Andrew Schroeder, David Overstreet, Doug Johnson. No, Doug's trying to cut the grass, trying to avoid all of it. He might have skimmed the nose of the 85 of Kildare. Right now, Kenny Real is your leader. We've been out here, had a, looks like about a 6-lap run. That was a big whoops. Well, guys, we're going to step aside for just a minute, but we will be right back. All right, guys. Well, this is going to be a shootout. Caution came out before lap 21, so we're going to have a shootout to the stage. There is guys coming off of pit road. Looks like Adam's still down on pit road. Mark Mann coming off. Everett Lane down on pit road as well. Gabe Butler, Brian Wayne coming off. Josh Ball down on pit road. Zach Fritz still down on pit road, as well as Rick Sanchez, Zach Workman, and David Overstreet. But David Overstreet is on the move, so he will be coming up a pit road. Unfortunately, that's going to put several cars or several trucks a lap down. Belbo call them die wides. Oh, Lord. I was checking on something, folks, here. Give me just a second. We will get back to the action. The lights on the pace truck should go off this time across the line. They will get back side by side. Again, we will have a 6-lap shootout for the stage. Now, the only one that I know of that was our stage winner last week was the one of Josh Ball. I don't see Hunter Reynolds out there in the session tonight. Ooh, looks like Andrew Schroeder has taken his car behind the wall. As I was saying, our green flag sponsor here at Maxspeedtv, Chevyland.com in Shreveport, Louisiana. Of course, Bubba and the Chevyland does a lot for our leagues, not just OP, but several others. So big shout out. Of course, this is a sponsorship with Maxspeedtv. So Chevyland.com, Chevyland down in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you are in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, just go to Chevyland.com. Take a look at their inventory. You can do everything online, as we are going to have people all over the place. We get to the restart zone here. The Chevrolet green flag in the flagman's hand. We get to that United Reynolds restart zone. Here we go. Chevrolet green flag back out on the loud pedal. We are going to have a 5-lap shootout here, folks, for the stage. Kenny Real right now, your leader, 36 of Stephen Littrell, right behind him. But on that outside line, the 81 of Dustin Logston and the 44 of Anthony English. It's 88-7 of, that is Adam Schramm down on the low line. But we're back 3 wide. That's the 47 of Richard Kuhn. Looks like the 62 of Les Levy in the 99. That may not be the 99. That may be. Trying to see out. That maybe it was. Yeah, that was the 99 of Alex Giffen. Kenny Real battling it out right now with Dustin Logston. We're going to get our battle for position up here. You guys can see Logston and Real just trading spots back and forth. Got a lot of guys side by, weaving in and out. 15, that is, Kenny Real trying to go up, but he gets hung out to dry. He is door to door with Stephen Littrell. Now the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. getting loose. Ooh, the 15 and the 36. Now we're going to be wrecking, folks. That's going to do it for the stage as the 15 goes up into the wall. Sanchez involved. Brigante, oh man, several trucks. The 027, the 12. Looks like Everett Lane might have got a piece of it as well. Les Levy. Mark Mann, I think, missed it. Let's go back here and look. I believe that all started with Jeff Crosby Sr. going to back this up just a little bit more because Jeff Crosby Sr. was behind Anthony English and Dustin Logston. They were going 4 wide, but Crosby Sr. come down. We were 4 wide right there, but he come down right onto the door of Stephen Littrell, and Steve was like, hey, I'm right here. Drove him all the way down almost to the grass. And Crosby Jr. Sr. comes back on the track right in front of Adam Schramm. It gets bumped right there. And then comes back down and gets hooked. Was not cleared. Well, that just sent him around. And that just caused a big chain reaction. Kenny Real, man, caught a lot of trucks. Let me back this up because I need to see who came down pit road first. Looks like Dustin Logston. Is the first one down pit road. So Dustin looks like will be your stage 1 winner. Well, hang tight. I'm going to double check this and I will be right back, folks. All right, folks. Well, we are going to get your stage 1 winner up here. Where is Nerd Esports? And we will get Mr. Dustin Logston up to the broadcast. Oh, I put him in the wrong room again. There we go. Hey, Dustin, Steve up in the booth. Congratulations, buddy. You are stage 1 winner.
Hey, I appreciate that, my man.
Well, it got a little bit hairy right there. You know, guys trying to clear themselves. It wasn't cleared as what it looked like to me. Just maybe a little bit of over-aggressiveness.
Yeah, it's, I mean, we were running tight. It was a good, clean battle there between me and Kenny Real. And he moved up, and I had a heck of a push from, I think it was Anthony English behind me. And I moved to the 3rd lane, and he followed, and we double cleared, and I moved down, and Anthony moved down, and I seen it was 4 wide behind me, and I'm like, oh, man, this is not good.
Yeah. Well, you know, halfway through the season, man, guys are going to be making some pretty aggressive moves, but you guys, you know, just maintaining a lane is I think, where we're seeing some issues.
Yeah, and I mean, when it's tough when it gets close to stage like that. You know, we got 2 stages here, now 1 left in this race, and it gets down to the end of the race. I mean, every driver's just trying to go for every inch they can, every point they can. Like you said, halfway through the season, points count now in a big way. So I mean, drivers just trying to make headway on there. And you know, we were coming up 4 wide, and you know, a little bit of pinch in there, and it was tough, man. I got to thank Anthony though, because that was a hell of a shot that he gave me.
It was
on that 3rd lane. So I appreciate the heck out of that from Anthony, man, for sure.
All right, brother. Well, good luck, man. You guys are fixing to go back green, and hopefully we'll catch up with you at the end of the race.
Sounds good, my man.
All right, we'll get Dustin back down there. get this turned off. We'll get that back on. But right now, Dustin Loxton, your leader. Josh Ball second. Les Levy in third. Andy Brigante fourth. Alex Giffen in fifth. Richard Kuhn sixth. Bubba Whittingham seventh. Doug Johnson in eighth. Everett Lane ninth. And Peter DeBourge rounding out your top 10. The truck does dive off down into pit road. We're going to get back to this United Rentals restart zone. That Chevyland green flag in the flagman's hand. Here we go. Green flag back out. The Chevyland green flag, folks, on the low pedal. Dustin gets a good start. He has Josh Ball to his outside. Andy Brigante making a move to get caught up with Dustin. Get into that draft as the 62 of Les Levy drops down. Gets a shot by the 47 of Richard Kuhn. Gets those guys a little bit loose. You guys. Well, unfortunately, that did put. Yeah, but he's not too bad a shape, guys. He is. Talk about Rick Sanchez. He is back here in 13th. So he is in pretty good shape, pretty good spot. Still a lot of racing left. We are lap 27 and 94. I'm sure these guys have had to use, some of these guys had to use their fast repair early. And I believe they'll only get one fast repair. As we look at that 24 of Everett Lane making a run to the outside with the 42 of Peter DeBourge. I believe that is the 46 of David Overstreet. And the 16 of Warren. Then you got Loxton, Hall, Giffen, Winningham, Hunt, Warren on the middle line. And then down low you have Brigante. That looks like the 62 of Les Levy, the 47 of Richard Kuhn, the 38 of Doug Johnson. I'm sorry, the 83 of Doug Johnson. That is the 19 of Zach Workman. 12, that is Zach Fritch. A 44 of Anthony English. David Casper, good night, sir. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to see you out there. Again, if you have, or if you're new to Maxspeedtv, folks, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit that bell icon. Let you know every time we do go live. Of course, our next broadcast will be next Saturday night, right here on Maxspeed with the OP Buttkicker Unlimited Series. And I don't know for sure where we're at. I will get that information. I want to say because we were, well, we had some change. We will be at Bumpy Road Daytona for Saturday night, which is not my favorite track. Do not like that track. I wish they could get rid of that track. Looking back up to the front, though, Dustin Loxton still out front. With that 13 of Andy Brigante, they are getting a good run. Josh Ball in that middle lane right now with the 6 of Bubba Winningham. Bubba looking to go to the outside. We'll go ahead and get on our drone cam here. As the 99 of Alex Giffen, the 46 of David Overstreet still on the outside. Looking right there with the 13 of Andy Brigante on the bumper of the 81. The 6 right on the bumper of the Josh Ball. They are going to get a little bit of a run, but Dustin Loxton is going to lead another lap here. Andy Brigante getting close to that yellow line. Got some movement back here in the back. That is still pretty loud. Kind of looking back, single file back here. See Sean McCara, Stephen Littrell, Mark Mann, Kenny Real, and then Jeff Crosby Sr., Gabe Butler back here, about 17 seconds behind Kenny Real. And David Overstreet is a lap down. He is the first truck a lap down. And unfortunately, Andrew Schroeder has taken his truck behind the wall, done for the night. Back up to the front. Les Levy still down, getting a great push out to the front up with Josh Ball. But here comes the 16 of Nate Warren, the 81 of Dustin Logston, and the 42 of Peter DeBorgia. We'll look at our pit stops. They've been out here, looks like 5 laps, so or 6 laps. I can't really see that. So we're gonna have to do this. We'll show it lap 23. Been out here 10 laps, folks, right now on this run. And Dustin getting a push there by the 16 of Nate Warren. Getting up there to the 62 of Les Levy. Josh Ball right on the bumper of Les, though. Guys, we're going to go ahead and step aside and do a little bit of Crank It Up here on Maxspeed TV. Hang tight, we will be right back. right, folks, we are back. We have got some green flag pit stops. Josh Ball, Kenny Real, Vicente Guerrero, Everett Lane, Zach Fritch, Adam Strom, Stephen Littrell, Brian Wayne, Dave Hunt, Alex Gibbon, Steve Corsack down on the pit road. Dave Butler and Jeff Crosby Sr. coming down pit road right now. Well, here comes that other group. Sean Stevens, the only one staying out. Peter DeBoers, Zach Workman, Nate Warren, Dustin Longston, Sean McCara, Les Levy, Andy Brigante, Richard Kuhn, Lynn McNeese, and Doug Johnson. Everett Lane, Kenny Real down on pit road. Jeff Crosby Sr., David Overstreet as well. So there's Dustin Logston down pit road. We're back out here on the track. Sean Stevens going to be out front. We're going to flip this pit. He's been out here 14 laps. His last pit stop was lap 24. So here he comes down pit road by himself. Anthony English making a run with Adam Kilday, Josh Ball, Zach Fritch, and Vicente Guerrero there. Around us. Oh, Josh and Adam. Josh dove it down to the inside. Adam went to go down, but Josh was right there. Anthony English drops it down in front of Josh Ball now. All right. Everett, you're going to have to school me here what trucks we're talking about. Honestly, I still don't follow a whole lot of NASCAR like I probably should. I'm glad that Amazon Prime is streaming the races, and I watched one a couple weeks ago. I really liked what I was seeing, but usually when those races are on, I'm usually working on my streams for the night. So you said the 27. That is going to be Sean Stevens. Said that is the Paul Menard throwback. And you think the 15. That's Jeff Crosby Sr. in the Skull Truck. Yep. The 84 is Lynn McNeese, always runs that Western Auto paint scheme. Got some new paint schemes out here tonight too. David Overstreet running that Jim Beam Apple paint scheme tonight. Get a look at that with the ocean spray on bed cover. So David Overstreet running that truck paint scheme tonight. Whoop, got a little too much. I don't think I've tried Jim Beam Apple. I know I've had Apple Crown. I really like Apple Crown and Mountain Dew. But we're going to get back to racing here, folks. Josh Ball going to be battling it out now with Anthony English on the inside. Adam Kilday, Rick Sanchez moving back up to that 5th place spot. Right now, though, our biggest mover is the 04 of Mark Mann, up 18 spots. back and forth between Ball and English. Fritch right there on the bumper of English and Gilday on the bumper of Ball. We are lap 43 of 94. Again, if the caution comes out at lap 46 or after or before lap 56, that will be the stage. Zach Workman looking to go out to the outside of the 5. No help. Now he's going to have Peter DeBorgia with him. Going to get a run. Oh, big move. Some blocking going on. That's going to push the 42 down to the apron. He is going to get back on the track. Pretty aggressive moves there to keep those guys from going 3 wide. It worked, but about caused the caution in the process. Zach Workman blinked out. I don't know what happened to Zach. He has blinked completely out. Ooh, Anthony English somehow saved that. I don't know how he did it. Anthony English somehow saved that truck. I am still not showing Zach Workman out on the track. So I don't know if Zach had packet loss or what. We are at lap 46, so if the caution comes out, that will end the stage. I'm looking at the ticker and stuff to find out. Zach Workman has taken his his truck behind the wall. He is out of the race, as well as Andrew. And we've got a caution out, folks. Let's take a look real quick to see where that takes us to. Oh, that was David Overstreet up into the wall, back into that other pack. Lynn McNeese up into the wall as well. And that gets the 13 of Andy Brigante. Gets a little bit of piece of that as well. Well, right now, we got Zach Fritch out front. Looks like Zach Fritch will be your stage 2 winner. We'll try to get with Anthony English as well, talk about that save. That was a crazy save. I don't know how he was able to do that, but we'll talk to Anthony here in just a minute. We're going to watch these guys come down pit road. Well, Zach is in the pits. But Zach Pritch will be your Stage 2 winner. We'll wait till he comes off of pit road, and then we'll bring him up to the booth as we see guys having issues down on pit road. Well, let's go ahead and bring Zach up to the booth real quick. Zach, man, it looks like you are going to be our Stage 2 winner. Man, that was, I don't know what happened with your teammate, man. Can you fill us in?
I have no idea. I just know I was playing records or checkers for that stage win for the first one.
Well, Workman blinked out, and he was just gone and then showed back up in the pit. So I don't know if he said anything or...
No, actually, they did say something. Now that you mentioned that, they did say something on radio comms. Hey, Workman, you're gone, Workman. And then, like, we tried talking to him, and we got nothing out of him. And then next thing you know, he's back. So... I have no idea whatsoever, but like I said, I was too focused on trying to play records and checkers, trying to get that first stage win that I haven't gotten in a while. So,
well, awesome job, man. That's going to be good bonus points for you for getting that stage win, and you know, it's still a lot of race left though.
Oh yeah, don't jinx me like that, Steven. All right, come on now.
Hey, you're talking to Steve Lane. This ain't Joshua Medlock. I don't have that Medlock juju, okay?
All right. I'll be sure. Hopefully we get an interview afterwards, and I'll be able to say it's right.
Hey, if you get involved, it's going to be your fault. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
awesome job, man. Congratulations, Fritchie. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Workman, you okay? You here now?
There we go. We almost had got some comms there, but I want to bring up, well, we'll bring him up whenever he gets done with his pit stop, because I want to talk to him about that save. Well, hey, there is Mike Edgerton out there. How you doing, buddy? Well, let's go ahead. We'll bring this guy up to the booth. He's probably talking to his teammates and caught him mid-sentence. But Anthony English, what a beautiful save you had there, buddy.
Oh my Lord, I had my hands full, that's for sure.
We were out here, we was like, I don't know how in the world he saved that. But man, you did an awesome job. From your point of view, we kind of looked on it a little bit, but well, it was kind of live. But what happened?
Honestly, I don't really know. I know Josh was pulling me. Josh was pushing me, and he was. I don't know if it was just him sawing at me or something like that, or we hooked bumpers or something. But I think our bumpers grabbed, and it just kind of set me towards the infield wall.
Yeah.
At that point, it was just a lot of just reaction and hoping to save it.
Well, you did.
Yes, I somehow successfully pulled it off. So,
awesome job, awesome save. It looks like the lights on the pace truck are out, so still a lot of race left, buddy. Good luck, and we will catch you later.
All right, thank you, Steven.
All right, folks. Well, my dogs were going crazy, but the pace truck does dive off down to the safety of pit road once again. They got the Chevyland.com green flag out, ready for these to go. The Chevyland green flag back in the air, folks. Here we go, back racing here at Talladega, lap 50 of 94. Again, your stage 2 winner was Josh Ball. Or, I'm sorry, Zach Fritch. My apologies, folks. I had it on the wrong person. Josh Ball is your leader. Stephen Littrell second. Dave Hunt third. Les Levy in fourth. Well, we just switched over Les Levy to third. Dave Hunt fourth. Sean McCara in your top five. As we continue on here, folks. Ooh, big move by Peter DeBorgia, but he was able to keep it out of that 13 of Andy Brigante. Almost went door to door. Ooh, big wiggle. Stephen Littrell getting pushed by the 62 of Levy. But here comes the 13 on the outside. Has no help. As the 62 of Les Levy goes to the outside with the 13. Peter DeBorgia down on the apron. Must not be liking what he is seeing as they are making room. Him come back on the racing service. Anthony English right behind him. Rick Sanchez moving up to that high side. Rick is currently in a 15th spot. But back up to the front. Dave Hunt has now taken the lead on that middle line with the 71 of Sean McCarr, the 36 of Stephen Littrell. Behind him in the 81 of Dustin Loxton, as well as the 46 of David Overstreet. Now, David Overstreet still is a lap down, but he is the first truck a lap down. Les Levy, Andy Brigante, Alex Giffen, and Bubba Winningham on that third lane. Josh Ball, I believe that is Nate Warren, Vicente Guerrero, Zach Fritch, Adam Schramm, Everett Lane, and Lynn McNeese all on that low side. 27 of Sean Stevens is closing the gap on that 81 there on that midline. And here comes the 85 of Adam Kilday. 71 right on that bumper of the 53 of Hunt. Of course, on the outside now, Les Levy getting a run. Oh, Dave Hunt upside down. Josh Ball rolling. That was a massive wreck, catching people left and right. As we get back to this, let's go to a chase cam. We need to be on. That would be Dave Hunt. We're going to rewind this a little bit here, folks. As Dave Hunt and Josh Ball both go upside down. 71 is Sean McCarr right behind Dave Hunt. Gets him. Dave Hunt kind of comes up. Sean McCarr stays down on that low side. As he comes back up, he just clips him on that left rear quarter, and that sends him down into Josh Ball. And then the air just catches Dave Hunt and Josh about at the same time, and they both go upside down. And Josh does a couple of rolls down the track. Well, we're going to get on Josh Ball. Guys, if you get motion sickness, please look away, because we're going to go on board with Josh here. As we see what happens. Right there is where he gets hit. He's upside down. Rolls over a couple of times. Somehow his truck is still running, but he has got a lot of damage. There is Miss Kaylin Thomas out there. Holy wrecking ball. Oh. Yeah, that was a pretty bad one. Of course, everybody down pit road, except for Bubba Winningham. Bubba stayed out. Bubba, I think, was he a lap down? I didn't think he was, but I guess he was. So he's going to get the wave around, get his lap back. Well, that's going to put Peter DeBorgia as your leader. Anthony English back up to second. Andy Brigante third. Nate Warren fourth. Les Levy in fifth. You got Alex Gippen in sixth, Zach Fritch in seventh, Dustin Locks in eighth, keeps Steve Korsak in ninth, and Stephen Littrell in 10th, Adam Kilday in 11th, Richard Kuhn 12th, Rick Sanchez 13th, Sean Stevens in 14th, Brian Wayne 15th, Doug Johnson in 16th. Of course, Kenny Real, Dave Hunt, Lynn McNeese, Vicente Guerrero, Josh Ball, Adam Schramm, now Bubba Winningham coming down pit road. Mark Mann down pit road. These guys are probably trying to get as much damage fixed as they can. And Gabe Butler down pit road as well. Good to see Zach back out on the track, even though he is now 2 laps down. Ooh, Sean McCara has taken his truck behind the wall, as well as David Overstreet. So we are down to 28 drivers now, folks. Lap 56 of 94. Everett Grover, I think you were the one that was mentioning last night. It was either you or Everett Baker, I can't remember, about the laps being showed during the caution. Well, I figured out which button it was, buddy. Got that put up. If it was you, I can't remember. Good night, Moose Pie. Thanks for tuning in. Well, lights on the pace truck are out as we come down the back stretch here, folks. Lap 57 of 94. As we get ready to go back green. He's been running pretty good, William, right now. He was up front there, but now he is back to 20th. He started 24th, so he's up 4 spots. He got caught up into something earlier, but was able to get the damage fixed. Now, I don't know if he had to use his fast repair or not, but he is still in the race and on the lead lap, so excuse me. Well, Andy Brigante, your leader, though, now. Les Levy in second, Alex Gippen third, Zach Fritch fourth, Dustin Loxton rounding out your top 5. The pace truck dives off down to pit road. They are coming to that United Reynolds restart zone. The 13 does have control. Chevy Land green flag back out here, folks. Here we go on the loud pedal. Mike Edgerton out there. He is part of Team Wicked, or the Wicked Race Team, WRT. Mike must have had to work late tonight. Wasn't able to make the race, looks like, so. But, Mike, glad you are here. Glad you tuned in. We had coffee go down the windpipe. Side-by-side racing. That is Andy Brigante down on the low line with Alex Giffen, Dustin Logston, Richard Kuhn, Adam Schramm, Josh Ball. Then went out on the inside or outside. It looks like it's Les Levy, the 12 of Zach Fritch, 85 of Adam Kilday, the 53 of Dave Hunt. Somebody went up to that high side. I think that was the 88 of Gabe Butler. Gabe is the first truck a lap down, so he may be trying to play it safe to avoid anything if it happens, so he can get the lucky dog. We'll see what happens here. Jeff Crosby Sr. right there with him. Now Jeff Crosby Sr. is a lap down as well, so it's going to be vying for that lucky dog spot. Now Les Levy does jump out to the lead in front of Gante. Here comes Zach Fritch to the outside with Adam Gilday, Dave Hunt, and Nate Warren in tow. Mark Mann right there with them too, it looked like. Or no, that was the 027 of Steve Corsick. A lot of back and forth, weaving in and out. Looked like Rick Sanchez, but 14 of Vicente Guerrero splitting the lanes back down to the low line. Got to be careful about that as Mark Mann right behind him. Kind of looking down through the field, you can see that weaving in and out. Well, I'm sorry you had to work late, Mike, but still glad you tuned in. We're looking back here. It looked like we were 3 wide for a minute. We have went back side-by-side racing. That is Bubba Winningham right there with the 27 of Sean Stevens trying to get caught up with that group. It looks like the 36 of Stephen Littrell going to the outside. Bubba Winningham going out there as well with the 11 of Kenny Reel. They're trying to make that third lane work. Have to be careful about that third lane. There goes another truck out to the outside. That is the 027 of Steve Corsick. Now we got 4 trucks to the outside. Corsick, Whittingham, Littrell, Reel. Here comes the 24 of Everett Lane. Drops it back down to that second lane though. As the 19 of Zach Workman goes to the outside. Andy Brigante still on that bottom line. Les Levy middle line now in front of the 12 machine. 99 to 81. Look at them. They are hooked up. Backs off of him a little bit in the corner. That's going to allow that middle lane to get a good run to the out off of the corner. As the 62 of Les Levy drops it back down to the bottom. But Steve Corsick getting the push on the outside with Bubba Winningham, Stephen Littrell, Kenny Reel, Zach Workman. And Bubba is all over the bumper of Steve Corsick. These guys are still back and forth. Looks like they've been out here for about 7 laps. So we still have a few more laps before that pit window open. Ooh, the 62 of Les Levy dropping down to the apron. Coming back up, good save. That could have been really bad. That was Steve Corsick jumping out to the lead though. But that outside line is still trying to work. That is Bubba Winningham, Steve Littrell, Kenny Reel, Zach Workman. Then you have Zach Fritch, Adam Kilday, Dave Hunt, Nate Warren, Steve, Sean Stevens. That's Stevens, right? 19 of Workman dropping back down. He just makes an aggressive move back to the outside. Kenny Lane or Everett Lane there behind Sean Stevens. for Lynn McNeese on that middle line. Then we got to go single file back to Anthony English, Ryan Lang, Ricky Sanchez, Mark Mann, Vicente Guerrero, Peter DeBorgia, Doug Johnson. Jeff Crosby Sr. Now Zach is up here at the front, trying to get his lap back. Again, I do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Guys, thank you so much. It means a lot to me and to these drivers that we've got great fan base here on Maxspeed TV that shows up. Is he the only one left? Belva, could you, I don't know what you're talking about. Is he which one? The only one left? Did I miss something? Because I'm not following. But anyway, Steve Corsick out front still. Zach Rich in second. That one out. Les Levy is still trying to. Corsick goes out to the outside. Try to give Les a little bit of air. Blinking a little bit there, but looking at the outside, Zach Workman out there with, I believe that is the 6 of Bubba Winningham on his tail. Here comes Everett Lane. Our lap 67 complete. Working on lap 68 now here, folks. Here we go. Coming around turn 1 and 2. Going to come to the back stretch. We are side by side, 3 wide though, right back here with Zach Workman, Bubba Winningham, as they're making a run back up to the front. Zach Rich right now in command, out front, drops it down to the inside lane in front of Corsick. That's going to give a little bit of air to that 85 of Kilday. Oh, Nate Warren making a move down to that bottom line. Racing, don't do this to me. Racing has just froze on me. Yep. Oh, come on. My latency has really dropped. Well, guys, I got to figure out what's going on. We're going to step aside. Let me get this figured out. I will be back as soon as I can. All right, folks, looks like we have got everything back. Not sure what happened. I can still hear the engines roaring in the background, even when iRacing was closed. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Right. Well, we are looking at the field here. Coruscant Rich back and forth for the lead. I'm going to go ahead and do a re-download of the paints to make sure that we have the right paint schemes out here, folks. I do apologize about that. The technical difficulties sometimes just sneak up on you, and it happens. But we are back. We are back live. With 21 laps to go. Ooh, the 62, Les Levy, and Mark Mann get turned around. That's going to bring out a caution. Mark Mann hard into that outside wall, it looked like. We'll take a look here. And fix to say iRacing is not liking me tonight. We're right here. Josh Ball kind of gets Mark Mann pushed up. And the 87 Adam Strom. Ooh, net code. That was 100% net code, folks. We're good on a chase view here, and we'll look at this. As you'll see, when Adam Strom starts to get close to Mark Mann, right there, netcode just got him spun around. You say it, take the air off of him, but he never touched him until Mark got sideways. That sent Mark hard up into the outside wall, and somehow Dave Hunt didn't get any damage on that, it looked like. That's going to bring out our caution here. Brian Wang is going to be your leader. Steve Corsack second, Anthony English third, Zach Fritch fourth, Nate Warren fifth, Adam Kilday in sixth, Dustin Logston seventh. At Kenny Real in eighth, Josh Ball ninth, Andy Brigante 10th. And Les Levy 11th, Strom 12th, Sanchez 13th, Mann 14th, Giffen 15th, McNeese 16th, Littrell 17th, Sean Stevens 18th, Dave Hunt 19th, Vicente Guerrero 20th, Peter DeBorgia 21st, Richard Kuhn 22nd, Bubba Twinningham 23rd, Doug Johnson 24th. Looks like Everett Lane, Gabe Butler, Jeff Crosby Sr., and Zach Workman all stayed out. Looks like Everett got the lucky dog. Workman is a lap down. We've lost Macara, Overstreet, and Schroeder. Well, I do appreciate you folks hanging tight with me. Let me get this figured out. Get us back and going. We have 18 to go as we get ready here to finish out the night. We had we had 4 actually that stayed out when everybody else went to the pits that time, Belva. Everett Lane, who was the lucky dog, Zach Workman, Gabe Butler, and Jeff Crosby Sr. all stayed out. So, looking at our pit strategy here, it looks like, well, I don't know if this is going to be right. Vince, we had everything shut down on us. I think they're staying out here to see if they get the wave around when we get to the start-finish line. They have to wait till the pace truck hits that start-finish line, and then the lights will go out. Well, there goes the 19, the 88, and the 15 around the pace car. That should put everybody back on the lead lap. Looking at everything here. Workman still will be 1 lap down, so that is the 19 of Zach Workman. But Jeff Crosby Jr., Gabe Butler back on the lead lap. Anthony English is going to be your leader. Steve Corsick on the outside. Brian Wang in 3rd. Nate Warren in 4th. Dustin Loxton 5th. Les Levy 6th. Kenny Real 7th. Rick Sanchez 8th. Vicente Guerrero 9th. Adam Schramm rounding out your top 10. Yeah, I was even noticing that at work today, and we're on a secure network at the office because I work for the VA, so it was even running a little slow today. Well, there goes the pace truck down to pit road as we get ready to go back green. The Chevy Land green flag in the flagman's hand, waiting on them to get to the United Rentals restart zone. Hopefully for the last time, as we got 17 laps to go. Green flag back out. Chevy Land green flag once again flying here at Talladega. I don't know about you guys, but this is 3 nights in a row that I have broadcasted a Talladega race. I had to look at my calendar earlier because I was thinking it was Groundhog's Day. Kind of felt like Bill Murray, waking up, doing the same thing, waking up, doing the same thing. Brian Wang, Anthony English battling it out for that first place spot. That is Anthony English, Dustin Logston, Kenny Real, Vicente Guerrero, Adam Schramm, Josh Ball on the inside. Then on the outside, Brian Wang. That is Steve Corsick. Nate Warren, Les Levy, Rick Sanchez, and Dave Hunt. Don't look now, folks, because here comes that field day machine and the 99 of Alex Giffen. They have caught up to Dave Hunt. We're going to watch and see if they're going to try to go to the outside. I still don't know if they're going to have enough laps or enough fuel to make it to the end. So we may see a short run We get about, oh, there it is. That's what I was thinking. There goes Vicente Guerrero. Come on, get down there on him. Oh, Adam Strom getting turned around on pit road. Going nose first into that inside wall. Vicente Guerrero, Josh Ball, Kenny Real, Stephen Littrell, Adam Strom, and Zach Workman. All down pit road. Unfortunately, Strom got spun out and went nose first into that inside pit wall. He is back out on the track. Now, the question is he going to be able to catch up with this group? Anthony English and this group. Looks like they're going to try to push it as much as they can. With 14 laps to go, that first group's going to have enough fuel. Steve Corsick does drop it down to that inside line. Nate Warren outside with Alex Giffen, Bubba Winning, and Sean Stevens. As we come down the backstretch, coming into turns 3 and 4, are we going to see another group come down pit road? Single file back behind Adam Kilday down to about Peter DeBorgia. The 99, Alex Giffen going out to the outside. Nobody going with him. Steve Corsick still got commanding lead. Anthony English, Brian Wang. That is the 81 of Dustin Logston. Jeff Crosby Sr. down on pit road now. 87 of Adam Strom getting past. Wasn't able to catch up with that group of Kenny Real, Vicente Guerrero, Steve Littrell, Josh Ball. Adam Strom will go a lap down. Here comes that big group we were talking about. Anthony English. Oh, Sanchez locking it up. Coming onto pit road. Was able to keep it off of the wall, but Anthony English, Dustin Logston, Les Levy, Dave Hunt, Adam Kilday, Zach Fritsch, Rick Sanchez, Mark Mann, all down pit road with Anthony English is going to get that lead off of, or get that off out of pit road first. But back out here on this group here, that's Nate Warren, Steve Corsick, Brian Wang, Bubba Whittingham, and Sean Stevens. Then about a half a second behind, a little over half a second behind. Ooh, here they come down pit road. Brian Wang, Nate Warren, Bubba Whittingham. Ooh, Everett Lane hard to the inside wall. Having issues coming in onto pit road. Richard Kuhn coming down pit road, as well as Gabe Butler. Brian Wang is going to lead that group out. Lynn McNeese, Doug Johnson, Peter DeBorgia stayed out. We are 10 to go. As Lynn McNeese going up to the high side. Now he's going to drop it down behind Peter DeBorgia. These three trucks working together here to make sure they stay cool enough. They've been out here for shows 9 laps, so guys, they may have enough to make it. I don't know. But Doug Johnson, your leader, Peter DeBorgia in second, Lynn McNeese third. Alex Giffen coming down pit road. But this group, Brian Wang, Nate Warren, Steve Corsick, Vicente Guerrero, Josh Ball, Kenny Real, this is where all the action's at right now. But they have, that's a big gap. Doug Johnson, Peter DeBorgia, and Lynn McNeese right now. About a 26-second gap, but it's shrinking. Now they're about 25 seconds ahead of that big group. That's Vicente Guerrero out front, Josh Paul just back and forth. But they are definitely closing the gap on those three trucks, down to about 24-second gap with 8 laps to go. They're gaining about a second a lap, maybe a little bit more. Doug Johnson still out front right now. Peter DeBorgia second, Lynn McNeese third. Brian Wang and that big group is about 22 seconds behind Lynn. And they are gaining quite a bit of ground. They made up about a half a second just on the backstretch. 7 to go. This shows you what happens when you have a big group. They made up about another half a second coming through the tri-oval. They are gaining a lot of ground on those three trucks, down to about 18 seconds. Lynn McNeese is falling back a little bit, maybe trying to save some fuel. Those guys are only running about 170 miles an hour. So they are definitely saving some fuel. As they come down the backstretch, 14 seconds, Vicente Guerrero behind Lynn McNeese. "12 seconds now to catch up with Lynn and these three trucks." Again, Doug Johnson still in first. Peter DeBorgia second. Lynn McNeese third. Now Vicente Guerrero about 10 seconds behind Lynn McNeese and closing fast. Now we're down to single seconds here, 9 seconds behind with 5 laps to go. This could be a strategy by Doug Johnson, Peter DeBorgia, and Lynn McNeese to let these guys catch up and hopefully push to the win. Now Peter DeBorgia goes out in front of Doug Johnson. Lynn McNeese still off of the pace. Now Vicente Guerrero is only about 4 seconds behind. You should start seeing them come up in the cameras here in just a minute. Oh, Peter DeBorgia down pit road. Did not have enough to make it. Unfortunately, Douglas Johnson out there by himself. About 2 seconds here. Here they come. There you are, closing that door. Dustin Loxton out on the high side. Kenny Reel right there in the middle. Vicente Guerrero down low. As they are catching up with Lynn very, very quickly. Now Lynn is back on the pedal. Now he's just going to hold his line. Nope. He is going to drop down to the apron. Let that faster group come by. Now so did Doug Johnson, dropping down to the apron. Going to let them. Ooh, almost a bad move there. Doug may be out of fuel, just coasting in. The way it's looking. Doug's coming down pit road. Your leader, though, Kenny Real, right now. Here comes Zach Workman to the outside. Zach is right there. Is he a lap down? He is not a lap down. He may be the last car on the lead lap, though. Trying to stay out front to keep from going a lap down, but Vicente Guerrero right now on the inside with Workman. Vicente trying to keep Workman up towards the Kenny Real battling out in the middle. Got Josh Ball. Looks like Steve Korsek and the 12 of Zach Fritsch on the middle lane. Then on the outside you have Anthony English, Dustin Logston, Mark Mann, and Adam Kilday. 2 laps to go, folks. We are 1 lap away from the white flag. Netsby. Well, good night, Netsby. Hope you have a wonderful night. As we come down turns 3 and 4 here, folks, we get to the start and finish line. White flag's going to come out, and then we will be on our last lap, and then whatever happens is going to happen. But we are door to door as Kenny Real drops it down in front of Workman. Puts Josh Ball in the middle. White flag in the air, folks. Here we go. Anthony English to the outside with Logston. Mark Mann out there with him. Oh, we're turning. What a save. Nope, we are wrecking behind. That was Zach Fritsch getting up into the wall. Mark Mann down to the apron. Back up to the front. Kenny Real on the inside. Josh Ball in the middle. Anthony English on the outside. Anthony blinks out, but we're looking right here. This is going to be the group to watch. Kenny Real, Josh Ball battling out for that lead. Kenny Real out front right now, just barely. Josh Ball on the outside. Steve Korsek, Vicente Guerrero all in the mix. Here we go through the tri-oval. Going to be a photo finish here, folks. Kenny Real out front, Josh Ball to the outside. Who is going to get it at the line? Oh, Josh Ball. Looks like Josh Ball is going to get it at the line. We are going to go back and look to see how close that was. I got 1/100 of a second between Josh Ball and Kenny Real. Let's go back here. We'll do a Maxspeed TV live rewind. And we're going to get to our chase view and get the cameras turned around here. This is how close it was, folks. Will be a photo finish. As we get to the line, Josh Ball barely edges out. Steve Korsek is right behind him, pushing him. Man, that was pretty close. But Josh Ball did get that win. Kenny Real second. And Steve Korsek in third. Well, hang tight, folks. We will get with our top 3 for your Maxspeed TV post-race interview. Hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back, caught up with our top three. We are going to start with our third place finisher tonight. That is going to be Mr. Steve Corsick. Let me get him into the broadcast booth. Steve, awesome race, buddy. Awesome job. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, like I said, but got it worked out. Got the last probably 13 laps, man. Let's talk about your race tonight, dude. You were back and forth up front. You started back towards the back of the field back in 24th. But, man, really an awesome race by you guys.
Yeah, but we like to start back there just for fun. I got involved in a couple of wrecks around the middle of the race, and I had to use a fast repair. So we were just kind of laying back, me and Brian, being patient, because we didn't want to junk our trucks and risk it. And then about, say, 20 to go, we moved towards the front and just tried to stay there. And the lanes were super clogged, and everyone was overheated, and it was really tough. And it just happened to get the middle clear, and Kenny dropped, and it opened up the middle for Josh. And I was over 300 degrees when I crossed the finish line. I didn't think I was gonna make it, but I gave it everything I had, and it made it. So it's good to get lucky.
Well, you know, Monday night we are this is a team league, so you got your teammates. But was there any communication with these other guys in the open channel, about pushing and stuff like that? I mean, you and your teammate were right there, but when there's only two guys, you've got teams that has a full 5-man team. I think Josh Ball's team had it. Several others. Was there any open communications with the other teams to say, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do," or was it kind of just you guys?
I'm sure it was just us. We're not in communication with anybody else. But during these races, we do end up making a couple friends here or there that we realize that we work good together. So that definitely came into play tonight. I just stuck with Josh at the end there because we've been running good together, and we just happened to be right next to each other at the end. So I'm glad I could get him to win. Good job.
Well, awesome job, man. Good points not for you and for Dale Cup racing team there, the Dale Cup Games team. Awesome job, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, Steve. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate?
Yeah, congratulations to Josh on his victory, and shout out to my teammate Brian, and shout out to you for the broadcast, and Opie for putting it on. It's a fun race every week. I really enjoy doing it. It's the only one I do, so I picked a good one.
Yes, you did. A lot of good racing out there, Steve. Go celebrate, buddy. We will catch you next week, sir.
Thanks.
All right, we'll get him down there. Well, that's going to bring us to our second place finisher tonight. We'll get with Mr. Kenny Real, if I could get him into the broadcast booth. Well, Kenny, buddy, awesome job. Second place finish. Man, it barely got squeaked out of that first place by 100th of a second. Really close, but there was some carnage that was happening behind you guys. Was you at all worried about maybe getting caught up into something right there at the end?
I think at the end that's always part of someone's mind, a wreck happening, because usually they always happen on the last lap. So pretty much I try to keep it out of my head and just keep looking straight. And that's what we did. Usually at the front, like if you're leading the row, you really don't got to worry about it too much, because not a lot of moves are being made unless you're like on the high side, and I was on the bottom, so I really wasn't too worried about it. And like you said, it was a close finish. I'm happy a teammate ended up winning. It's still frustrating. I keep finding myself so close to winning either the race or stages, and I haven't been able to get it done yet.
Well, man, one thing I was talking to Steve about, most of these teams, this is a team league, so you do have your teams, but when you're running with only like two people in your team, is there, with you guys as well, has there been any open communication with, guys that you've been working well with, say, hey, I want to do this or I want to do that, or do y'all kind of just keep that amongst yourselves?
Are you talking about like people outside the team?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Kilday from other racing, like Super Speedway racing, I know he's a good driver. So if I'm around him, I know I can push him and he'll be able to hold on to whatever. I know Corsac the same way from other races. I know he's a good driver. So just I don't know too many people in here other than those two. I know those two I can outside the team that I can work with them and I can pretty much push them as hard as I can and they'll be fine. Other than that, we really don't talk about other drivers and working with them and stuff like that. We do talk about other drivers we don't want to work with, but other than that, no, we don't really have open talks about who to work with on other teams.
Well, I what I'm just saying is basically if you're out there and you don't have any of your teammates around you, it's like you say. I mean, you know who you can work with, who you can push, who can push you, without any communications, basically, right?
Yeah, like Workman for instance. I found myself around him this whole season, and I mean, like Corsac and Kilday, it seems like he can hold a push pretty good. He's a good pusher, so I like working with Workman whenever I'm around him if I can. But yeah, I mean, if you're by yourself in these races, it's going to be hard because it is a lot of teams only work with teams. You can see it when it comes to pit stops. You can see it at the end of the races when they make moves if they're together. I mean, people are very team orientated in here, and it shows a lot of times, especially when you're, like I said, pit stops and at these races.
Well, awesome job, Kenny, man. Congratulations. Good points tonight for you. Also, good points tonight for your team. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, man. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give before you go celebrate?
I just want to give a shout-out to my teammates over at No Press Esports. Shout-out to Jack Shack Racing, Reactor 9, Wagner's Welding. Shout-out to all the admins that put on this league, and shout-out to you again for putting on an amazing broadcast.
All right, Kenny, appreciate it, buddy. Go celebrate. I'm going to get you down to the post-race campfire so you guys can go over the race results. So congratulations again. We'll see you next week, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, well, that will bring us to our winner tonight, Mr. Josh Ball. No stranger to that victory lane. Josh, I'm going to look here. Real quick. Well, you are a new winner tonight. You haven't won yet this season, but this is your first win. So you're into the playoffs, bud, as long as you make the rest of the races, or at least so many of them. But, man, awesome job for you tonight.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a tough, grueling night. I think I was upside down at least one time with the same truck that won, and yeah, I know I crashed another time too, so I just got lucky there at the end. You know, we were boiling behind our teammate for the last like 8 or 9 laps.
Well, yeah, we went on board during that little mishap, and you know, you kind of up on your lid. The air caught you, and you know that other. I think it was the 11 truck. I'm not 100% sure. But the air just got up underneath you guys. Now, that's a bad thing about these trucks. When you do go sideways, especially on a banking like that, it's very easy for these trucks to catch air.
Yeah, we had several minutes of damage, enough that we were able to fix it over the next, like, we had 3 pit stops, so we were able to fix it all. But I was trying to save the fast repair just in case something happened, because usually, you know, when you don't, then something happens and you're out. So I just did as much as I could, and it was still telling me that there was damage in various places. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to lead a line. But once I got Kenny clear and, you know, it was the last lap, it was kind of just hold what I got. So.
Well, you know, it was an awesome run by you guys tonight. I'm trying to find your team here. I thought you was on Buttkicker, but I guess you're not.
Now we're on No Presta, so that's
No Presta.
Me, Kenny, Vince.
There we
Adam, Steve Littrell.
Well, you know, first, second for your team tonight, that is going to boost your team points. But, you know, the victory also gives you good points as a driver. Of course, the win you're in. So that's got to relieve some of the pressure to make the playoffs now.
Yeah, there's 3 of us in the top 5 tonight. Vince even got 5th, but yeah, we've been struggling. It just wasn't running good. I was 25th in the points, and I just had a couple bad weeks where I just didn't do well. So we swapped the paint around 2 weeks ago, and I guess that was what we needed. So,
well, awesome job, buddy. I know you guys got the post-race campfire going on. We're not going to keep you any longer, but I'm going to give the mic to you, bud. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give before you go celebrate?
yeah, obviously, you guys for putting on the broadcast here, Steven, and everybody that puts on the league, Zach, Peter. Well, I guess Peter doesn't do it, but dual Zach, Anthony, Jimmy, but yeah, everybody for coming out. My teammates, especially tonight, we all work pretty well together. So yeah, thanks everybody.
All right, brother. Well, go celebrate. We'll get you down to the post-race campfire. Good win tonight for you, and we will see you next week, sir.
Thanks, man.
All right. Well, we were going to get him down there. He ended up moving himself. Well, that is going to bring us to our unofficial results. Of course, they're down there right now. This is going to be pending any admin stuff. So go ahead and get this put up here. Here is your unofficial results for the OP Premier Series here on Monday nights. Josh Ball, your winner. Kenny Real in second. Steve Corsick in third. Brian Wang there in a fourth place finish. Vicente Guerrero with a good finish in fifth. Anthony English in sixth. Nate Warren seventh. Bubba Winningham eighth. Dustin Logston ninth. Les Levy in 10th. Dave Hunt in 11th. Adam Kilday 12th. Zach Fritsch down in 13th. Mark Mann 14th. Richard Coote 15th. Andy Brigante 16th. Gabe Butler to 17th. Stephen Littrell 18th. In 19th was Sean Stevens. Everett Lane in 20th. Rick Sanchez 21st. Peter DeBorgia 22nd. Lynn McNeese 23rd. Doug Johnson 24th. Zach Workman 25th. Jeff Crosby Sr. in 26th. Alex Giffen 27th. Adam Schramm back to 28th. In 29th was Sean McCara. In 30th, David Overstreet. And rounding out your 31-car truck field tonight is Andrew Schroeder. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here on Maxspeed TV. And I can't even talk now. But want to appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Everybody out in chat, Belva, Detsby, Everett Grover, Mike Edgerton and Fish on Adventures, William Littrell out there, Moose Pie tuning in, Kaylin Thomas out there as well. Look, I think we had a couple of, or at least one new person, Storm Chasers, David Casper showing up. Looking through, of course, Brendan Kennedy out there, Everett Baker as well. Cody Nagel's tuning in, so appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And that will do it for us tonight here, folks, on Maxspeed TV. Until Saturday night, OP Unlimited Buttkicker Series will be back live right here on Maxspeed TV. Until then, folks, please have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your night. Stay safe, and we will see you Saturday night.